Siddur Snippet series is generously sponsored by the Saka family and sponsored as well by Elad and Avram Foreman. We are still in the introduction to the bracha V'LiYerushalayim ircha berachamim tashuv, a special bracha, even though we have others as Tzemach David that speak about the period of redemption, the arrival of Mashiach, the building of the Beis HaMikdash. Yerushalayim gets its own bracha. We've been speaking about its significance and its meaning more than just a geographic location, more than just coordinates on the map. Yerushalayim is an existential, Yerushalayim is a spiritual concept. Indeed, in the kinos that, please God, we will not recite this year, hopefully we'll all be in Taka Yerushalayim, but in the kinos that have been recited in the past, the kina Eishtukad Bekirbi alternates stanzas. First we describe the B'tseisim in Mitzrayim, the glory when we left Mitzrayim, the exit of Mitzrayim, Kadosh Baruch Hu saved us, redeemed us from Egypt, and then the kina, each corresponding stanza says, B'tseisim Yerushalayim, how tragic and sad when Hashem took us out of Yerushalayim, and ultimately it culminates with optimism and hope, with a tefillah and a prayer, Sason v'simcha v'nas yagon v'anacha b'shuvi Yerushalayim, happiness and joy, gone will be sorrow and sighing, b'shuvi Yerushalayim, when please God we can go back to Yerushalayim. Going back to a state of Yerushalayim is not only going back again to a geographic place, it's going back to a state of mind, a state of existence, a state of being. What is this contrast? What is this distinction between Mitzrayim and Yerushalayim? So essentially Jews can live one of two ways. And in fact, Avram and Lot, he parted na me'alai, when Avram and Lot part ways, and he tells Lot, you choose. Which direction do you want to face? Where do you want to go? I'll go the other way. Lot looks towards where? Mitzrayim. Avram is happy to go towards Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael. Mitzrayim is defined by the Nile. Mitzrayim is defined by this false and delusional sense of self-sustenance, that we can take care of ourselves, that we don't need anyone, that we don't need Hashem. Mitzrayim is a place of silly superstition and magic. Mitzrayim is a place of moral corruption and spiritual decadence. And Yerushalayim, in contrast, Yerushalayim is the opposite. Yerushalayim is the place that has Shechina, Hashem's presence is intensely felt. Yerushalayim is the place that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we realize, we surrender and submit to His providence and to His dominion. Egypt, Mitzrayim, and Yerushalayim are two opposites. They're two polar opposites. And the question is, where are we drawn? So we have an entire bracha in the Amida 3 times a day, V'LiYerushalayim ircha berachamim tashuv. That our GPS, our coordinates, our magnetic pull, the place that we want to be, where we're most comfortable, is to go back to Yerushalayim. We want to get out of Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is characterized by sinas chinam and divisiveness. The whole way we got to Mitzrayim was the terrible, terrible machlokas between Yosef and his brothers. And of course we remember that and commemorate that even Pesach night. The Karpas, Rabbeinu Manoach tells us, is a reminder of Ksonas Pasim, that divisiveness, that machlokas, the sinas chinam, that continues to haunt us until today. Yerushalayim, even though we have the tremendous chus to be back in Yerushalayim, it's certainly far from being rebuilt. We don't have a Beis HaMikdash, because sinas chinam of Mitzrayim still haunts us. We long for Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is the opposite. Yerushalayim is achdus, it's unity. We eat the Korban Pesach, how? B'chabura. Person has to be part of a community, part of a group, part of a chabura, to be able to eat the Korban Pesach in Yerushalayim. Mitzrayim is a place, Mitzrayim, the root of the word Mitzrayim is metzar, boundaries. We're trapped in the physical, tied down by the material. That righteousness and virtue are held captive to corruption and selfishness. Egypt is a place of metzar, that we're bound, we're shackled. Yerushalayim is the opposite. Shalayim is Yerushalayim Shalem. It's a city of peace. It's a peace between the body and soul. It's peace between heaven and earth. It's peace between the ideal and reality. It's living according to our values. Yerushalayim is that place of harmony. We're Shalem, we're complete, because there's shalom, there's peace, because there's a harmony between every part of who we are. The Yerushalmi Chagiga tells us, Gemara in Tainus, Shimon Levi taught that Yerushalayim is a city that joins everyone together as friends. So the pasuk says, Ir shechubra layachtav. It's a place that we're united. It's a place of being a chabura, of being a chevra, that we are united, that we are together. Not only Yerushalayim Shalmata, Yerushalayim of here, but V'LiYerushalayim, the Vav we learned, is Yerushalayim Shel Mala. So life is a journey, and the Jew is always meant to try to extricate, to try to exodus, to try to leave Mitzrayim, Again, not only physically, many of us have never been to Mitzrayim physically. Torah mentions 3 times there's a prohibition to go back to Mitzrayim, which means literally shouldn't physically live in Egypt. It's a question how the Radvaz, the Rambam, Rav Avadia, how some of our great leaders lived in Mitzrayim if there's a biblical prohibition. What are the exceptions to that rule? But it doesn't only mean geographically we're not supposed to live in Mitzrayim. It means metaphysically we shouldn't live in the mentality, the philosophy, the attitude, the perspective of Mitzrayim. Instead, a Jew is meant to go where? V'Liyerushalayim ircha. To journey from Mitzrayim to Yerushalayim. To always believe we're almost there. To be in the city Shechubra Le'achtav. To be united, to be together, to have a harmony, to have shalom, and to be shalem in all that we're doing. That's what Yerushalayim is all about. Yerushalayim is the holiness of Yerushalayim. Mentioned more than 650 times in Tanakh, even though not explicit in the Torah itself, for 3 reasons. But Yerushalayim is the place, the destination, it's the place of our destiny. So that's why we have a special bracha. We'll go through the words themselves, but that is all by way of introduction, why we have a special bracha designated for Yerushalayim, because it means much more than simply geography. It means a mental state, a state of being, a goal, a hope, a way of living. And Amir Hashem, we should all be back there both physically and metaphysically. B'karov b'yameinu.